So I updated this data practical do file. So I've put in more commands to help with today. All right. So I think we are starting. Okay. So we'll start here, and then you can always restart the whole process with your WDI and keeping the variables that you want to use for your analysis. But for today, if you were to open your, I think we had ended at, oh yeah. If we start by if we bring in the variety, this Vdem data set into your Stata file. So we need to bring that particular, okay, there we go. We need to bring in our institutional variable into our data file. So if you just open the do file, it should bring it in, but then you have to save it where your data sets are that you were saving yesterday. Have we all brought it in? So open download the Stata Practical Do file from your Google folder, because I updated it yesterday with new commands to help you with today. And then save it where you were in the folder you were working on in yesterday, because that's where your Vdem is. So also put in your variety or varieties of democracy. Let me put up maybe this will help you. The instructions are here. Yeah. So open Vdem dataset, then open the Stata Practical Do file, and then run the commands in the do file to clean the Vdem dataset. So that's what we want to do now. And then you're going to save the cleaned dataset for institutions. And then once we have that dataset, we can merge it in with the World Bank and the globalization dataset. So that is what we are doing today.
So does it make a difference? I did the opposite.
What did you do?
I opened the ERSA data file, and then now I was opening that do file.
That's fine. You can open the do file, because we are going to clear and bring in the democracy. So you will find that it will, yeah. Because what you did was this, right?
Oh, you opened both? Oh, okay.
Yes.
I see it. All right, no problem. I see now.
Yeah. So you can open your ERSA dataset. It doesn't really matter, because you're still going to clear that and bring in your Vdem when you use the command. Yeah. The variable should come out here. So all your variables will be showing here your Vdem, and you can see it's a massive data set, but it's got very interesting variables. If you're interested in institutions, they look at political corruption. Olandre said he's coming late, but he was interested in that. They've got public sector corruption, they've got political corruption, they've got executive corruption index. So, if you want to bring in those as well to discuss your narrative, then you just follow this do file and include those variables when you're cleaning and saving and keeping the data sets. For now, I just kept these ones. Maybe I should actually also try and keep the corruption.
I'd like to find this do file.
Did you download it from the Google link, from your Google phone?
I downloaded the entire Google folder.
Okay. So where is it? Is it in your downloads?
Yes. It's in a directory already.
Okay.
And I see data do files, but when I click on do files, I only see one status article.
Yes. I merged all our commands into one do file. Yes, exactly. Yes. So I merged everything into one file, so that you can have all your commands yeah, exactly. So I cleaned the Google folder to make it look a bit more easier to communicate. So I also want to bring in political corruption. Sorry. I just need to see what it's called here. You see, you've even got women, civil, you've got gender institution variables as well. I mean, this is an interesting database for institutions. You've got rule of law, you've got property rights, you've got freedom of expression. So if you want to keep the whole data set, we can remove that keep thing, and we just bring in the entire data set, so that at least when you are looking for variables, you can then choose. So I think maybe that's a better thing. So let's not use this keep command. Let's just bring in the whole data set into our main data, merge it in. You can then always use this once you're in. You can always rename to find the variables that you want, right? I'll keep this command in, but you can then add, if you want to bring in freedom of expression, you can add in rename V2X, whatever, freedom of expression is all there.
So I just want to see, Prof, how do you just remove, delete, keep, or?
I greened it out. So if you green it out, when you run your, Stata won't run it, because you don't want to lose the command in case you want to use it at some point, you see. Like I said, it's sometimes difficult to remember some of these codes, especially if they are complicated codes. So if you don't want Stata to run it, green it out. Okay. So once you are in your Vdem, the first thing we want to merge, we want to merge our data on ISO 3 and year, right? So year is spelled the same way as our data set we want to merge in. But where's the ISO 3? There's no ISO 3, right? So that's why I put rename country text ID ISO 3. Because Vdem, because remember we've already merged in our globalization, we've already got our our World Bank indicators. So we don't want to change the naming convention in the main data set. It's this smaller data set that we are merging into that has to match with the World Development Indicators. So you have to run those two commands where we are renaming the country text ID to ISO 3 and renaming the country name. Then again, as we discussed yesterday, this dropping of unmatched ISO 3s, it's not necessary. You can merge in without, it just means that those ISO 3s won't be in the other data set, right? So if you run your estimations where that data is not available, they won't be included in that sample of countries. I just like to ensure, I just wanted my data sets to match as closely as possible. So I did drop the ones that I realized are not matching between the two data sets, right? So all of these, and most of these are usually islands or small regions that, should not really have that much of an impact, whether you include them or not. So if you run this whole command where we are dropping, you just run it. Then we drop those ISO 3s. And then I know my varieties of democracy starts from 1870, I think, or something like that. And it goes all the way to 2024, because this is the latest data set. And yesterday we saw that one of our data sets only starts from 1970 to 2020. So again, all those years will not be necessary. You can merge it in with those years there. What does it mean? It just means you are going to have a data set, you're going to have like a lot of blanks for the data sets that don't have those years. So I just want a clean, or I want them to be as close as possible. So I tell Stata to drop if the year is less than 1970. So it's going to drop all years from 1870 to 1969. And then to drop any years that are greater than 2020. So 2021, 2, 3, 4 is going to be dropped from this particular data set. Right? Yes?
Can you just go back
Okay.
to They all ISO 3 thing.
Yes.
I don't it.
Which part, Mary?
I tried to drop it. Sure, ISO 3 not found.
Because you didn't rename. Remember I said, remember they call it, in this particular data set, the ISO 3 is there, but it's called something else. So if you know you're merging your data sets on the ISO 3, you need to rename so that it's the same as the other data set that you're going to merge into. So that's why I keep saying that it's important to know what category you're merging on. If you decided to merge on the country name, then you have to make sure that that category is called the same. So in your main data set, what did they identify countries as? Is it country or country name or country underscore name? In this data set you want to merge in, how are they identifying the country? So it's always important to know, and even your year. Both data sets could have year, but one could have year spelled with a small y, the other one with a big Y. It won't merge because, so you have to change the 1 year to be spelled exactly the same as the other year. Stata will then pick up and merge anything that has that year. So what you did, Mary, was you missed this step here to run. So if you run that and then run the dropping of the ISO 3s, what I could have done before I renamed it, when I wanted to drop, I could have said drop if country underscore text underscore ID is equal to BD. Then it would have dropped because that's what it's calling the ISO 3 in this data set. But then it was so much to type all of that. So I first renamed it to ISO 3 and then I dropped it. Okay. So, and don't run the keep. Yeah, did you run the keep? Okay. Did you bring in your Vdem? So just clear and bring in your data set in again. Because remember, I said there are quite a number of institutional variables in there. So when you are doing your analysis, there might be some that you then want to use, because there are gender institution variables, there are corruption institution variables. So there's a whole lot of them there. So I just thought, maybe let's just keep the whole data set the way it is, and then you guys can decide what you want to use. So just put a star in front of the command keep, and it won't run it. It will green it out, and if it's green, the do file won't run it. So don't run the keep. And it's not a crisis if you run it again. Like you see, you can just bring in your original data set and clean it again. So here, this is me. I just renamed them. When you decide what you want to use, you can always come back and then include the variables that you want to use, right? So I just renamed these few, right? I don't need to run it. I won't run it. If you want to run it, you can run it, but I won't run it. I'll just leave it like that. Then you want to run those two. Remember, you always want to save this cleaned data set as a different name, under a different name, because as you see, you can make a mistake and then you realize, oh no, I forgot this variable. I need to go back and bring in the original and run the code again and include this. So just run the sort. Yes.
So when you save it, I see that the place there.
Yes.
Then it replaces what you have.
Yes, it replaces. So what happens is, let's say you saved it, right? And then you realize, oh, I want to bring in these other two variables. Let me go back, run the do file again up to the point where I can rename the ones I want, and then save it as the same name, because I'll need to merge it in, and you've already got that code. So what it just does is it allows you to replace. If you don't have the replace, when you try to save it as democracy sorted, it's going to say it already exists in your folder. It already exists. So you're just replacing over that one. Yeah. Otherwise, Stata is just going to tell you it already exists, rename it something else. But, but then, and the reason why you want to replace is because you've already got a code where you are pulling in democracy sorted. So for you to then remember now which is the current one that I saved, it's rather you just save it as the same name, replace it so that the other codes are then you just run them easily like that. So I'll show you when we merge and you'll see what I mean, that every time it will be difficult if you keep saving it as a different name all the time. Yes.
I just want to confirm, you have said that we can either rename or not, right?
Yes.
So what it means is that if I choose to rename, and if the project that I'm working on, I'd have to remember what I've renamed because
Yes.
the data set don't have that.
Yeah, because it's so you will know what you renamed them as. So like I said, there are quite a number of interesting institutional variables. So if you let's say maybe you want to write your narrative of Africa's development path purely from an institutional angle, then you've got all these variables that you can pull out to tell your story on, well, this is how the democracy trend is like, but if you look at the corruption and split the corruption by public and executive and private, you see these differences. So, and all of that is, there's freedom of expression, there's civil liberties index, so there's a whole lot, right? And what I'll do is, there is a code book, so I will put in the code book for the Vdem in the Google folder so that you can see what those variables are capturing. And then if there's one that you want to use, you can then make sure you rename it. And you can do this renaming in the full merged data set. So you can have the complete World Bank, we don't have to do what we did yesterday with World Bank where we said keep. You can have the complete World Bank, globalization and Vdem the way it is. And then you rename, once you've identified the variables you want to use in your merged data set, you then rename. Then it's easier for you to then just run your analysis. So that's also another thing. And I think that's what Eleni kept trying to say, is that be careful when you use the keep. Because you can see with the keep, you might forget something. So it's rather you just keep the data set the way it is, just merge in everything you want. And then once you have your saved merged data set, now start looking at the variables that you want to keep, or not that you want to keep, that you want to use, and just simply rename them. And you just have your data set with the rename, and voila.
And Prof, I just want to know, for instance, now we've saved the sorted.
Yes.
And then I realize I want to rename something else. I just
bring in the original. No, sorry. That you want to rename something else. Yeah, you can rename it in democracy sorted.
And then do the save replace again. So
Yes, exactly. So you can rename. Yeah. And even if you merge in the democracy sorted like this, because you haven't really dropped any variables. So once you've got your merged, you can still rename in your merged data set to say, oh, by the way, there's this other variable. It's here in my full data set. I just need to rename it so that I remember what it's called. Yeah. So that's why. So now when you do run it, I would suggest that you just merge them without using the keep. In the Stata practical do file, just merge your data sets without using the keep, like what I put here. You just green out the keep. And then once you've served your data set, then rename the variables you want to use. Yeah. All right. So sort by ISO 3 year and save your democracy sorted. Replace, and then we are going to do the merge. Yes, Clay. No, I didn't run the rename, but it's fine if you run it. It's fine. It just means it's changed. It just means it's changed VT, those names to electoral, and so it's fine if you run it. Yes.
I have a question. Let's say, for example, for studies that have like on conflict, for example, right? I know that some countries in Sub-Saharan Africa that have experienced conflicts and others have not, meaning that if you go, for example, with the UCT period database, you will not find data for those, meaning that you won't find codes for that country.
Yes. If the country doesn't have conflict, it won't be in the data set.
I wanted to know, like, if you want to merge that kind of data, electronic data, we won't have problems because we don't have the code.
No, so that's the issue. You can still merge. It just means in your data set, those countries, when you're running your estimations on conflict, they won't appear in there because they are not conflict affected countries. So there's no data for them. So there's nothing you can do about that. Yeah. So and you can't force the country to be in a conflict data set if it's not there, right? Because that's how they collected the data. So it's not a problem. You can still merge. You merge on the ISOs on the countries that have conflict data. Yeah. Exactly. But usually on UCDP, they will include most countries because the depending on the variable that you want to use, it will have countries that don't have. It will identify countries that don't have as well conflict, right? So it would say maybe especially episodes of conflict. It will code it 1 for countries that had episodes of conflict, 0 for countries that didn't have. So you should ideally have that most of your countries there, even including those that didn't have conflict as well.
Oh, no, I think you covered me. I wanted to link this because I think it was the same conversation with the 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
With the 3 being the countries that you're gonna use, and the 2 the neutral.
Yes, exactly, and 1 exactly. Yeah, yeah. So your merge will have the 1 and the 2, showing you that in this data set it's not appearing in the other one. In your main data set, it's not appearing in the merge. Yeah. 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 So it's not a problem. It's not a problem. What you do want is to have a large number of your countries merging so that you've got a lot of observations to run your estimations on. All right. So have we saved it? Okay. So if we've saved it, now bring in your ERSA data. So you just run that. It should bring in your ERSA data. You sort by ISO 3 and then you merge. So we just want to run up to 332 code. And then your data is merged into your main data set. And if you tab _merge, it should tell us we don't have any 2s. So the only issue we have is that 1, let me just quickly go to my 1. I think I explained it somewhere here. Where do I explain? Sorry, here. 1, the observation is only in the master data set. What? What is not found? Your ERSA. Where did you save it? Where did you save it? Remember, your directory is important. Where you save your data set is important because that's where you pull it from. So if you are not working in your folder and you pull you have to save your data sets in the same folder. Huh? Mzu is saying you didn't change your directory, Clay. You're going to have a problem. Are you working from your download? No. Where are you working from?
I'm sitting in I opened the folder.
Okay. Just pull in your ERSA data from file open in the Stata thing. And then when you do that, it will show you the directory. Then you copy and put that. I think some of you didn't save your ERSA data file. So this is a good opportunity for us to start from scratch and then just have the full merged data base, right? So let's do that. Because you guys, some of you didn't save in. So in your Stata practical do file, let's start from here. Let's start right from the beginning because some didn't save what we were doing yesterday, but that's good anyway because remember we had used the command keeps. Yeah, so now we're not going to use the command keeps, so we're going to go slowly. We're going to start with WDI and we are going to work through it slowly. So let's bring in clear all, it's right at the beginning. Let's bring in your WDI data. Yeah. We're starting right from the start.
So now
We're gonna close
we must
our.
close the laptops and open them. That's what we're doing.
Yes. So you can close. Just make sure your Stata practical do file, you don't lose that. So let's start from scratch.
What we have done on state that practical first,
Save that.
then close it.
You know, you don't have to close it. Then you just, if you just say clear all and you run that where you are your directory to pull in the first data set that we want to clean. So at the top of the Stata practical do file, where I say merging data sets,
Yeah.
just run that command up to use WDI. And everyone should have these WDI variables coming into your Stata data, right? Up to there. The CD is, yeah, the CD is telling Stata, this is where I want you to pull the data from. That's your directory. So yes, it's the folder in your computer. So it has to be your directory where you saved WDI, right? So yesterday you can't pull it from the Google folder because the Google folder is mine that I shared with you. So I can pull it from my Google folder because I saved it there, but you won't, which is why you first had to download all those data sets, put them into a folder, and that is going to be your directory where you are pulling the data sets, and also save your do files in those directories. Yes, exactly. So now you'll see that if you tell Stata right at the beginning that this is the folder you're working in, then you won't have those problems that you are having when you just say use this, because then Stata would say it doesn't exist because it didn't know which directory you're pulling it from. You see, so that directory is important, but all your data sets, all your do files must be in that same directory, in that same folder. All right, everyone, are we here? All right, so let's run our command from 27. We are just dropping these regions only up to, from 28 up to 117. Run that. Okay? Right? And then once you've dropped that, we are not going to rename. This is now your data set. So we are not going to rename. This was my renaming. You guys will decide. You will decide what variables you want to pull from the World Bank. So we won't do the 122 up to 153. Don't run that, right? Don't run that. What we are going to do is we're just going to drop if year is less than 1970, because we know the data set we want to merge in starts from 1970. So let's drop that year. Let's drop those years, and then sort and save, right? Because this is now your data set you are going to use for your report. So those were my variables that I wanted to remember and keep. So this is what I'm saying, that now we're just going to put all the data sets the way they are, and then you can then add in your do file at the end, rename this variable. This is what I want to use once you know what you want to write about. Because you might find that you don't want to use anything from globalization. You know, you might find that you don't actually want, you only want one name from World Bank. You want to tell your story from an institutional. So you might end up wanting to use the Vdem more than anything else and the variables from there. You might find you only want to talk about Africa's narrative from being about openness. So then you'll go into the globalization index, and it's got various, it's got political, globalization, and all of that. So for now, we are just creating a data set that you can then carry on using. Yeah, you can draw, yeah, sorry. Which one?
Okay.
Oh, varieties of democracy. Oh, she wants to know, sorry, Abigail wants to know where I got it from. The Vdem. Sorry, guys. It's varieties of democracy. This data set. Yeah. Yes. I can send the link on our group chat, if that's okay.
Yeah. They also provide, like, for a country, the regions within a country.
Oh, you can create the regions within a country, remember, if you want to. Yeah. So, I just want to show you why I like this data set. So, you can have, this is the full one. Let me see, is it? No, sorry, no. I have to click on that. And then it will show you. Here we go. So country here, this is the full one with all the institutional variables. So you see you've got 245 indices that you can use. Then this one that says core, it only pulls out a few. And then you have, yeah, that's the one, this one. So it will only pull out the key democracy indicator, so you won't necessarily have all of them. So this full one, you can see as well, you can download it in Stata, CSVR, or SPSS. So you can already download it in Stata, and then you just clean the ISO codes and everything, and then you merge it in, right? Then there's also another interesting data set here, which the ERT data set. So the episodes of regime transformation. So what this data set does is it shows you if countries had democratic transition, breakdowns in their regime, if they had democratic transitions where they move from autocracy to democracy. It shows you whether the country is what during a period was a liberal democracy or a liberal autocracy or a full autocracy. So this is a nice one when you want to use categorical classifications of countries to see, okay, I'm looking at the effects of investments on economic growth, but how is this association affected if I look at it only for countries that had democratic breakdowns? Then you can use those kind of categories and compare with the ones that had issues, political instability versus those that had no change in their regime and everything. So that's also a nice one, and it's already, because it's housed under Vdem, the structure will be similar to the Vdem. So you'll probably find that whatever we are cleaning in Vdem is what you'll have to clean in the ERT, and then you can immediately merge it into your data set. So this is where you find it, and then let me just go back, and then I will do this, Control C, and I'll put it on here. If I don't do it now, I'll forget. There we go. All right. So we're going back to our, okay. So now we have saved our WDI, right? Now we want to pull in our globalization index, clean it, save it. We are going to do the same with Vdem, clean it, save it. I'm going to, this, I'm going to green that out because we don't want to keep, we want everything to come in.
Sorry, Prof.
Yes.
Are we working with 3 data sets?
Yes.
Okay.
We're working with 3 data sets. We are merging in, 3. We're merging 3 data sets, right? So once we've cleaned all 3, we then just do one command to merge the 3. Mm-hmm. Yes, using ISO 3, right? So again, let's pull it in. Let's run that. It should pull in your KOF globalization index. I can show you where I got this data set as well. And the codes for these data sets are on those websites. So that link I sent you to Varieties of Democracy, they have a code book. That's where you can download the code book to understand the institutional variables. For the globalization index, if you go to KOF, here, this is where they capture, they collect the data and everything else, right? So here's your data set here. And you can download it. Again, you can see you've got Excel and you've got in Stata format as well. So I will send you that as well. And that's where you will also find the code books. Okay. All right. Are any of you running into no room to add variables yet? Okay. Let's just see. So what have we done? So now we just need to rename, right? Because in this data set, ISO 3 is called code. So we just rename, and then we are going to drop the unmatched. If you can drop them, you don't have to drop them. It's not going to make any difference. The critical one that makes a difference is this one, the replace. We have to run that. Otherwise, we are going to drop these 4 countries thinking that they don't exist, but they actually do exist. It's just that the ISO codes were different. So make sure you run 220 to 223. Very critical. The drops, not so much. Yes.
Yes, we're supposed to run 173, 174, and 173 with name code ISO.
Yes, you have to rename that, yes. That is a critical command. All right, so we are not going to rename again. We are just going to skip the renaming. It's up to you. If you want to, you can read the code book on globalization to see what the variables are capturing. So we're just going to sort and replace, and then save. So now we've got 2 data sets, right? So just quickly, I want to bring this one first. Yes, Darlington. Mzu? Darlington has his hand up. What? No, it. Yeah, so maybe you need to rename and keep. You might have to. Okay. Okay, who is using the version from Claudine? You haven't yet run into no room for variables. Okay, let's continue and let's see. It's the third one. Okay, let's see. Because Alice tried to merge in the Vdem. Because remember, we are not keeping. So the data set is becoming big and big and big. So if you have some of these temporary ones, they might not accept. Because mine is like, it will accept. And it's a status 16, which is an old one. I'm just trying to clean this data set. Let's see.
I don't know to get there.
Let's see. All right. So we have saved, right? We have saved our KOF. Now let's bring in our Vdem. Right? Let's bring in our Vdem. But I think we've already cleaned this one. Did we keep in this one? Because we had already saved the democracy sorted, right? But you had saved democracy sorted, right? So I think we should be okay. But anyway, if you... Okay, all right. So let's just bring it in.
We've got to wait for the screen to
What happened to the screen? Jermaine? I did literally touched nothing. Hmm?
Perhaps we drop merge and say ERSA data.
No. So, yeah, so don't do that. Let's first clean the Vdem, and then we will, yeah. Yes. And then you must just clean your, or I'll upload this, because I'm cleaning my do file again as I'm. All right, so I'm just putting in I just cleaned the one we have right now because I realized that things were all over. Anyway, all right, so back we go. Bring in your Vdem, right? So in the do file you have, jump all the thing where I said merge in KOF thingy, because that was what we were working on yesterday. So what I did was I brought in the command that cleans the Vdem to follow after we've cleaned KOF sorted. So we've got all the cleaning commands of the 3 data sets following each other. Then we are going to merge. Then we will merge. That's what I...
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused. This improvement you made, do we have it?
Yes, it's just at the bottom. So if you scroll down, if you scroll down to after I had done that merge with KOF and WDI, it's at the bottom. So I'm saying bring that whole section where we are cleaning Vdem, just bring it to the top. Yeah. That's why I'm saying don't, that ERSA thing is from yesterday. We are going to rename it something else because this is now your data set. No. Okay, Mary, close that one and open the one download the one in the folder. Yeah, close that do file. Yeah. I just cleaned our do file. All right. So all I'm saying is, in the one we worked yesterday, remember we didn't clean the Vdem. So you'll find that after the KOF, we do a merge. So if you go to the bottom of that do file, if you just scroll and go just after the merge, you will see this command where I'm bringing in the Vdem, where I'm saying let's clean it. And that's all I'm saying. I'm saying that Vdem for cleaning, if you bring it to the top, so that it's logical when you are, let's say when you start working on other data sets, just to understand. But to make it easier, I've already uploaded it in the file. So just download the new Stata practical do file and use that one. Yeah, and use that one. Right. So if you just open the new Stata practical do file, save it in your folder, and let's work on that one. You'll see that after our save KOF, line 242 should be clear all, and 240 should be telling you you're merging. We are now working on the Vdem. And so we first want to clean it, and then we are going to do the merge. So this means your data set is going to be quite big. So let's see those that don't have Claudine's version, if we can have a large data set. If not, it will just mean you have to drop the necessary variables, or that's where your keep will come in. But then you need to be careful. You need to have renamed the variables you want to use and keep those, including ISO 3, country name, and your year, and region, and all of these other stuff that is in WDI. So let's just see how it goes. Right? And then drop. And then we run the drop from 253 to 278. We are just dropping the unmatched ISO 3s. And then we are dropping the years that don't match as well. I'm not going to rename. That's up to you. I'm going to sort and save my democracy sorted. Now we've got all our 3 data sets. We are ready to merge them. Yeah. This is scary, right? Right. So now are we all there? Let's merge. So because you're working from the same directory, you should be able to bring in WDI sorted. Yes, Toani.
That one was quick, bro.
Oh, sorry.
After dropping, let's say it's 318, and then dropping.
Oh, okay.
Then should I run the renames as well?
No, don't run the renames because it's going to depend on what you want to, which data set you want, which variables you want to use from there. Yeah. Sort ISO 3 here, which is 291. So from 282, go straight to 291 and 292. And then we should have saved democracy sorted. So in your folder, you should have WDI sorted, KOF sorted, and democracy sorted. These are the 3 data sets we want to merge in. All right. So now let's try. So now let's bring in the first data set, or you always try and bring in the largest of your data sets to merge, to start the merge. But I don't think there's any problem which one you bring in first.
So what is the 3 data sets you said we must have sorted?
WDI sorted, KOF sorted, democracy sorted. So now bring in your WDI sorted. So if it's in the same directory, you shouldn't have a problem just by using use. If you're struggling to bring it in, then just go to File, Open, and bring in your DTA.
I think it's the complex data. Let me go there.
Yes, okay. What, where?
And I'm trying to
All right, we'll wait. So if you realize you've made a mistake, right? It's not the end of the world because remember we still have our original data sets. So you just open the data practical do file that I just put up now in the folder, and because we've been going through and fixing, you can literally highlight from the beginning to here, to this spot, and it will run. But remember, make sure the keeps, I think I was greening out the keeps in this one. I think so. The ones I didn't, but just be careful. Remember, I didn't green out the names, though, the renaming. Yeah, but you can always rename more. Yes, it's fine. So you can actually just run it like that, even with the renames the way it is. It's not going to matter. Up to here. So we want to come up to here, where you are using your WDI sorted.dta. Are we all here? Because now we're going to merge. So let's all get here. Tuani, have you been able to get past your security issues? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Run line 296. Yeah. So if you open the latest practical do file, this is 296, we should all be on the same page, right? So don't use the one from yesterday. Okay. Then just find where the commands are. Yeah. Because you'll find that the one from yesterday doesn't have me merging in the democracy sorted.
I have one that says use wide sources on ISO here. ISO here uses the sorted data.
Yeah.
Tab merge, but then it says drop.
Yeah, so I think bring in the latest Google folder. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not going to do anything. You can close that do file there and bring and open the do file in that Stata, but just download it and put it in your folder. All right, guys. Now, just run 297 up to 300.
So 97.
97.
That means you've merged in KOF sorted. You've merged in your globalization data set. Your merge is showing you that you've got a nice merge. The one is just showing you that it's in the main data set and not in the merging data set, right? And then now let's run again the second merge, democracy sorted, tab underscore merge, run that. Oh, sorry. You have to drop underscore merge. Which one? Oh, this one. It's showing you the two data sets matched. The underscore merge. Underscore merge 1 is showing you that those observations are only found in the main data set. They are not in the data set you merged in. That's 1. If you had a 2 as well, the 2 is telling you that the main data set doesn't have those observations. They are only in the data set that you were merging in. 3 is the main one. So that's why it should always have the largest number of observations. If you find that your 1 and 2 have larger observations, then you need to look at your data sets and see what are the issues. Yeah. I'm sorry, it will say variable underscore is already there because we have it in the first merge. So drop your underscore merge before you run the merge democracy. So you can just include that in your Stata, in your do file. You can include that. And then let's merge in our democracy. Aye, damn it. Now it wants me to sort it again. Sorry, sort ISO 3 here. Okay, good. So after drop underscore merge, if you try to merge and it said master dataset not sorted, just say sort ISO 3 here and then run your merge. Yes.
Why are we doing that drop underscore?
Because try running the next command and you'll see what it will tell you.
I actually have if I try to run which one? Our datasets are a bit different.
Yeah, because you're using the old do file.
But I've been following well.
I know.
So
Yeah, because up to here, that's where they... Up to here, they are fine, right? So, had you made any changes at the top?
yes, I've covered.
No, I was saying, were you doing some writing in...
Oh no, no, I haven't.
Okay, so let's go to our original one.
That would
You
be
know
good.
what?
I have no notes and stuff
Yeah.
I need to keep.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to find out. Okay. So what you want to do, so let's not save this.
Yes.
Go to the
Where I
link.
have-
Yeah, the one I sent, the link,
Oh,
Go-
by link you mean on?
the Google folder.
Did you add something?
Yes,
like
I did.
Now?
Yes.
Now?
Yes.
Prof, your space.
Yes, go to do files.
This is not.
You'll see it's got the same name.
So I'm like, why is it old? But I downloaded it this morning.
Yes. No. Yeah, download this one.
Okay.
Mary, what's the problem? Okay, I'm coming. What is it saying? Oh, so that means you have to keep. So as you're going through each data set, keep the ones you want, and then, yeah. Why I was saying you were asking about the drop underscore merge, because every time you merge, it creates an underscore merge column. So it was saying it's already
to
there.
override
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
to match again.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's saying you've already got an underscore merge. So that's why after every merge, you always have to drop the underscore merge. And then you sort your ISO 3 and then you merge in. And then you check your merge again. Right. I'm coming through. All right. Mary, what is happening? Oh, your issue is just the no room. Okay, so but everything else is the coding is fine. So now because of the no room, that's where your keep is important. So then you don't have to green your keeps. But remember, you have to first know which variables from that data set you want to keep. Yeah. So I would probably think that if you kept the variables you want from World Bank, because that's the largest one, that's probably what's causing the problem. You could probably merge in the others without having to do the keep. Yeah. And then decide which variables you want. If you look at the ones I have renamed, see if they are sort of the ones you want to use in your narrative. Yeah, there was GDP, investment, and education was there. Which are
If I go back to that command and keep it, is it gonna automatically say for my merge data?
Yeah, so what it will do is it's just going to keep those variables and it will drop everything else. And then you save and then you just continue with the.
And that's like on the new merge data set. Remember we merged those.
No, you have to restart and then merge in the other data sets. Yeah, so try just keeping in the World Bank and then try merging in the others without keeping there and see if it will allow you to then have that kind of data set. Yeah. Then do this. It's just saying it's not sorted. ISO 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Then run it again. Let's see if it will merge. Then run it and let's see if it will merge. Yeah, it's merged. Yeah, so you can do your tab underscore merge to see if everything is fine. Yeah. All right. Yes, Hannah.
Saying that you have W open data, do not download them.
Yes, I said don't download it.
Can I get it? Can I just?
Yes, that's exactly. Well done, Hannah. You're learning. Yes. You can now use. So you just save. Then you save your data set. When you've merged, you can look if you want to see if you have any duplicates. I'm just going to drop my underscore merge. You want to see if you have any duplicates because sometimes that happens. I've got one duplicate, which means I need to check my data to see what that duplicate is. It's not a problem. It might be a problem. Let me see. It might be a problem next.
So because I run
Okay, no, it's not a problem.
I'm working now, we can put it. That's our committee.
But now, okay, you want to.
Almost the same.
Oh no, I'm just looking to see who. Yeah, don't worry about this one. Usually it's a 0. You have no duplicates. So that will be your data set and you can then start working on your analysis. Okay,
For
so
this version of status.
yeah, so
15.
so it means you need to rename and keep only the variables that you want to use. Yeah. So you will have to keep only the variables because it's saying it doesn't have room to have a large data set.
So what do I do here? I have to go back.
Yeah, so you have to go back. So I think the issue is WDI is quite long. So I think that's where you need to actually just keep the variables you want to use. So what you can do is you can see what I renamed, if and then you can try and see if those are sort of the variables you want to use in your narrative, and keep those.
Also, it means I have to start again.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah. So you would have to. So once you've renamed, you would then have a variable that says keep, and then you'd keep the variables you want to use: country, year, ISO 3, region, income classification. Yeah. Yeah. So those are what I renamed,
Okay.
but there are other variables within World Bank, like I was saying, like inflation, like government debt. So it's up to you what you want. And if you realize that, oh, I want to look at something else, you can always come back, run it, and keep the one that you want. Yeah.
So I'm saying like for now I have to close everything and
Yes.
restart.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, but when you've run up to rename, you then have to put the command keep, and keep the variables that you need, including your country, ISO 3, year, region code, income level, and income level name. Yeah, you would have to keep those. And then you save it, and then you carry on with your code. And then everything else, I'm thinking that when you do that, the other data sets, you should have enough room for the other variables without having to keep. So try that and then let me know.